I'm very taken back by how awful I've been depicted when I was just trying to do my job. The people expected me to do. When I look at the people that have spoken here today and asking for harsh sentences, I'm just appalled. I feel bad for them because I know, I've often said God doesn't like people messing with his kids. And I believe I'm a child of God. And I believe that it was important for someone to stand up. And I chose to do that.
Remember Tina Peters? She was the Colorado clerk who broke the law by allowing a man connected to the My Pillow guy to breach the Mesa County election system in an attempt to help overturn the 2020 election. Now, she's being sentenced, but her privilege somehow hasn't taken a hit.
I have health problems that would not be treatable in the Department of Corrections. First of all, I need a magnetic mattress. I've been on that since 1995. I was in 2 rear-end collisions in 84 and 2010. It was pretty severe. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, I don't know if you can zoom in a little bit, and chronic fatigue as a result, and I had to stop working for the airlines in 1995. I was up all night because I was in bed all day. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't control these symptoms until I got, believe it or not, a magnetic mattress of which I still sleep on. I will not have that at the Department of Corrections.
Sounds like a classic case of, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Remember, she also didn't take getting arrested very well either.
Okay, no, Randy, put your cup down and turn around. Ma'am?
No. Let go of me. You let go of me. Let go of me. Let go of me. Let go of me. Oh, no. Let go of me. Go. It hurts. Let go of me. Give me my
Do not kick. Do you understand?
Stop it! No, let go of me! Yes, you are, Caleb! Give me my key to my car! Give me my key to my car! Give me my key to my car! Let go of me! You're hurting me! And I'm going to show all the bruises that you put on me.
So if you're not going to cooperate, you'll be charged with obstructing.
Let go of me!
You understand that?
You let go of me now.
No, ma'am.
You're bruising me! Let go
Stop
of me.
pulling against us.
I'm not pulling against you. Let go of
Then
me.
stand up like an adult.
Shut up. What an asshole thing to say to me.
She doesn't respect our elections, the law, or our brave law enforcement officers that risk their lives every day to face off with dangerous criminals like her. All the way up to her sentencing, she was fighting with the judge over the election fraud claims, as if her conspiracies matter.
In the machine, whatever it tabulates is whatever it tabulates.
No, it doesn't. It changes.
You're not letting me finish.
Okay,
whatever
please.
it tabulates is whatever it tabulates. My hand vote, my ballot remains the same. They counted those ballots. Did they not?
I understand what you're saying,
Did
Your
they
Honor.
count the ballots?
No, the ballot images were changed, and that's what the total shows. Okay, I'll move off of this because I can see that I would encourage to read the report number 3.
I've read them, ma'am.
You've read all of them?
I've read those reports. They were given to me at some point, I believe.
Good, good. Well, so you know what I'm saying is true. All right, let me move on. It's not funny. My life is on the line here, Your Honor.
No, you're the one who's making this allegation that, one,
It's
I think
not
it's
an
funny,
allegation.
and 2, that I know it's true. You're saying that as if I believe you, and I did not say that.
Okay.
That is
All
why
right.
I made the sound, because it's insulting to me for you to just put that in a record in front of all of these people that I believe something to be true.
Okay.
This is the energy of someone that thinks they're above the law so much that they can wrestle with cops attempting to arrest her and argue with the judge over what he believes. I wonder who she got that kind of hierarchical belief system from.
This is Tina Peters running for Secretary of State.
Yeah. Tina Peters!
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you are. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. You are.
Now, do you have anybody in the Republican primary?
I do. You know who it is? It's Pam Anderson.
Jackson, who is the director.
Not deep down there. I want to look at this tomorrow. Well, you have a card or something? Just give him the information. This is a rock star.
Right, she is. She is. She is.
I'm the one that did the image.
Yeah, no, you did. And then they went after you. Yeah. See, today they go after you if you're investigating.
Yes.
I would've
Right.
thought-
I've been
But the people that
investigating since
committed
day
this
one
have no
President
problem.
Trump.
Right. We're gonna look at that very carefully.
If you work for Donald Trump's criminal network, you get the high honors of being called a rock star before your downfall. Just ask Mark Robinson, Steve Bannon, Rudy Giuliani, and countless other yes men that think they should control the justice system. But Peters just had her first encounter with accountability.
Eyes to the community are what they are, but your reputation at this point is poor because of what you've done here and after. Your lies are well documented, and these convictions are serious. I'm convinced you would do it all over again if you could. You're as defiant as a defendant as this court has ever seen. You don't have those histories of drug and alcohol abuse. There's no lifetime of trauma, not even close to the type of mitigating circumstances I would see from many folks who sit in that chair. No, to the contrary, Ms. Peters, you are a privileged person. You are as privileged as they come. And you use that privilege to obtain power, a following, and fame. And to be sure, there's no doubt in my mind that it's exactly what you wanted, and it defies all sense of common sense to believe when you suggested to me a few moments ago that you didn't want this attention. No, you crave it, ma'am. And there is no one in this courtroom who would consider that to be anything other than the absolute truth.
It's privilege, outright privilege. And sadly, it'll take much more than the 9.5 years that she's been sentenced to serve to rehabilitate her. In fact, knowing MAGA, the consequences will reinforce her belief that she's been persecuted for her crime.
There are many things in my mind that are crystal clear about this case. You are no hero, you abused your position, and you're a charlatan who used and is still using your prior position in office to peddle a snake oil that's been proven to be junk time and time again. In your world, it's all about you. But at bottom, this case was about your corrupt conduct and how no one is above the law. No one in this country has absolute power. Your position as a clerk and recorder, a constitutional position, does not provide you with a means by which to do your own investigation, to not listen to the judiciary, to not listen to the executives higher than you, to not listen to the legislature who sets the law as it may be. This is nonsense. Our system of government can't function when people in government think that somehow, some way, the power they've been given is absolute in all respects. And that's where you fell. You have no respect for the checks and balances of government. You have no respect for this court. You have no respect for law enforcement. And you do not have respect for your fellow colleagues when you were a clerk and recorder who weren't lockstep in your beliefs.
Not one lie told. And the sympathy card that'll no doubt be played over this 69-year-old woman having to go off to jail is irrelevant. How many elderly people are spending their lives in prison behind actual manufactured charges that have been proven to be false? Missouri just executed 55-year-old Marcellus Williams, who had been sentenced to death despite the victim's family, prosecutors, DNA evidence, and jurors involved in the case asking for the conviction to be overturned due to loads of new information. But we're supposed to feel sorry for Tina Peters because the jail doesn't have magnetic beds and 1,500 thread count sheets.
What were the thoughts in your mind that night when you went to bed?
Well, unfortunately, I didn't go to bed. They keep the lights on 24/7. They have it, you sleep on a 1-inch plastic mattress with no pillow, no sheet, just barely covering up with a blanket. And in my case, there were 5 other women in this particular room that I was in. I can't even call it a room. It was a jail cell with a toilet. And my chief deputy was in a little bit larger room with 9 other women in her cell. It was a no contact. They did not allow us to communicate, contact, be together.
The people that were in there were just hopeless. It was so sad. The food in there, I would have eaten my dog's vomit rather than eat that food. It was awful what they're serving to these people.
It's really telling that when the people they expect to be in prison complain about the conditions there, we're quick to make jokes about not dropping the soap and that they should have thought of that before breaking the law. But when these convicts are facing the same fate, they go running to cameras to tell everyone, yo, did you guys know that they feed us garbage? Yes, it's what you were just celebrating when it wasn't you. Again, it's obvious where she gets this energy from.
And I'm here in the courtroom, sitting here, sitting up as straight as I can all day long. I'm sitting here for days now, from morning till night, in that freezing room, freezing. Everybody was freezing in there.
Kara, I'm not a germaphobe, and I don't like going inside Rice Street. I mean, it's disgusting. It's dirty. It's dangerous. There were several instances that have happened in the past. One of the most famous is when there was a former sheriff in charge. They filmed a rap video inside the Rice Street jail. There were instances in the past they had to, I think it was under a federal mandate, they had to fix the locks on the cells because the prisoners were able to wet paper towels, put them in the locks, and get out of confinement. So it's not a pleasant place. It's known as one of the worst jails in the country. Now, luckily for Donald Trump, he's just going to be in the administrative area, so he's not going to get deep into Rice Street. At least now, if he's convicted, he probably is going to see the inside of Rice Street and even the worst parts of it.